Welcome, my precious friends. Again, we are here coming together for one of our amazing heart-powered, inspiring interview series. And as you know, every time I introduce you to an amazing entrepreneur, change maker, and speaker. And today we have a great friend of a great friend of mine. Her name is Triccia Ramos. Who is Triccia? What does she do and what makes her so special? Well, first of all, she has a really inspiring story to tell and a really powerful message that she shares in so many ways all around the globe. Well, what is her story? She had, at the age of 40, she experienced a stroke. And after 20 years in the corporate world, she quit her job. And that happened actually 2.5 years ago. And she launched her coaching business full time. Well, I can imagine that experience of going through that stroke back then, right? I mean, when we come to the edge of saying, oh my God, I'm glad I'm still alive, that shifts something in life. And maybe you have been in a situation like that yourself that really triggered you to take a different direction in life. And that's what happened to Triccia. And she really began by, running her coaching business. She began by working with high achieving women to really help them enjoy and achieve all the amazing career goals that they've set themselves without compromising on their health and relationships. Well, today she really works with those that really want to transition from being an employee to becoming an entrepreneur, and to help them really find success on their terms, to really allow more space and energy to live impactful and amazing lives. She's running a lot of programs to support women and men to launch and scale their business using bold, conscious leadership. And we'll find out all about what this bold, conscious leadership is. And if you are still in a job and you think about switching over to building your own business, or if you have a business and you want to pick up some great hints and tips on how to do that, you're in the right place. So Triccia, it's really, really great to have you with us today. Welcome.
Oh, thank you so much for that introduction, Monique. I'm so excited to be here with you and your community today.
Great. Okay, so let's get going, Triccia. I know a lot of people wonder, well, how did she build that bridge? I call it always the bridge from job to joy. How did she build that bridge? And what are 3 ingredients in your business right now that really help you to bring everything again, especially at the current times, to a different level? What are 3 of your best practices that you can share with our community today?
Well, yes, number 1, begin with the end in mind. So always forecast what would you like the next 12 months to be like for you, not just in one area of your life, such as your business, but taking a look at your entire life with all its facets and really imagining what would you want to be experiencing and enjoying over the course of those 12 months. And then breaking that up quarterly, from there monthly, weekly, daily. So important to connect to what are those core desired emotions that you want to experience, and having that be the basis for the goals that you want to achieve throughout that year. So that's number 1. Number 2, ask for and be willing to receive divine support. Know that you are not alone and that you are part of this amazing universe, this tapestry of unique gifts that exist, and you are one of them that contribute to that. And there are many others all around us that are able to help you be able to achieve what your dreams are. And so by being willing and willing to ask and receive divine support, that means that you're being strategic about who you're surrounding yourself with, that you are enlisting the help of mentors, coaches, and that you are investing in yourself. Before you even invest in your business, invest in yourself. And number 3 would be, as long as you're doing those first 2, show up and play full out. Participate every moment. Be present. Don't get caught up in the past history, past mistakes, and certainly do not spend your time worrying about what could go wrong or even what could go right in the future. Just be in the present moment and take ownership of your experience while meeting the need that you're serving for others.
Wow, really powerful hints and tips. Each and every single one could actually be a book in itself, right? Or, a whole training session itself. I'd like to dig a little bit deeper and really understand, how did each of these points really work out for you? So first of all, I love the planning, and I love how you're saying, well, make sure that you really, first of all, start with setting intentions and being clear on what kind of emotions you want to feel and what do you want to happen, not only in your business, but really also in your life. So what are some things on your agenda that you say, well, that is an intention or that's an emotion that I would like to live, and that's how I translate that into defining concrete business goals? Can you give us some examples on that?
Sure. Very often it's so easy to set goals based on what you see everybody else around you achieving. And the truth is, in this world of, social media, everywhere, and we think we know what it takes and we've seen what people have done all around us, it's so easy to experience that imposter syndrome or to feel like you're not doing enough, and only to have those emotions come out of something that wasn't within you to begin with. And so if you were to spend more time actually tuning into your own intuition and really having assessed, what do you value? What is most important to you, to your business, to the people who matter most to you, the impact that you want to make, and you don't let external achievements cloud that. The connection to what you want to do and why you want to do it is going to be strong enough that it's not going to deter you, even if at first you don't know how to go about it. So it's really about tuning into that which is unseen and not yet known by you, which is where the magic is. That's where possibilities lie. If you can already picture exactly how something is going to be, then that's just based on what you've already experienced. And it's probably a version of something someone else has created or something you've already done before. But how do you tap into that magic? You tap into that magic by being willing to sit in those possibilities, and you do that by tuning in.
Good. So why don't you give us a concrete practice? How did you find that? What did you do to gain that clarity? Because I always feel that, it's something that, of course, it doesn't happen overnight. And, some of us hit and, are being hit by an epiphany and suddenly we get that clarity. But often there's a lot that happens before we gain that kind of clarity. So can you maybe share one or two exercises for people to bring these things that are sitting there in the subconscious, and make us more conscious of what is it really at the deepest level? I mean, I'm sure it took you a couple of years to find out. It took me a couple of years to find out, and things keep shifting all the time. But maybe one or two concrete practices that help you gain that clarity again and again.
Well, I am a certified high performance coach, and one of the practices that I do and that I have my clients engage in, especially when we first begin working together, is you gain clarity by doing this particular exercise. And that is that you pick 3 words that you aspire to or that you're already living into. And these are 3 simple words that you'd be really happy for somebody around you to describe you as. And they're words that embody the energy that you bring, that you're proud of. And they might be words that, like I said before, you've already been living into them, or maybe you aspire to be more of that word. And by tuning into those words, and by the way, I also caution people, don't just pick words that have no frequency or flat, like saying something, for example, like organized or, determined or somewhat flat. However, I'll share with you my 3 words. When I began this journey 2.5 years ago, my 3 words were joy, bold, and healthy. And joy was something I was already living into. And I already felt like I embodied it. In fact, the name of my company is Enjoy Now, LLC. Bold was not something that I felt I was just yet. And I knew I needed to be in order to establish myself in this new arena and to be able to attract clients that I would then be able to serve. And healthy was because, well, as you expand your impact, as you take on your dreams, it's so important that we evolve our health habits with that. And I mean that from not just a physical standpoint, but mental, emotional, spiritual as well. So by having clarity on those 3 words, it allowed me to then create routines, rituals, tangible actions that would indicate that I am living and embodying those words.
I love it. And honestly, I also love what you're saying on the second point where you said, be open and ask for what you need help with, be open to receive. And, I hear that again and again in our programs where we help people grow, grow their business and speak up and really reach millions with their voice and message. And a lot of that people say, well, what really helped me is I learned to ask. It's so funny how, including ourselves, right? Really being bold to ask is a big step for a lot of people. So how did you actually gain this boldness to start opening up to receiving and to really go out there and ask for the help you need? How did you make that happen?
When I quit my job 2.5 years ago and decided to launch a business, that was a turning point moment. It was one of those moments where my back was against the wall and I had nothing left to lose. And it was also a very challenging time where I really learned what is pain, what is despair, and how deep can you go in that journey to healing. And asking, whether it's asking for help or asking more questions, is about taking ownership of your worth. And if you are here listening and you have a business or you want to start a business, one of the foundational processes that I think sometimes gets overlooked because we're so focused on how we're going to do something, we overlook the root of what it is. Why do we want to do what we want to do? Where is that coming from? And by enlisting the help of others, by asking deeper questions, by being willing to receive what comes to you, even if the form doesn't match what you had imagined, but the essence is there, right? So you're clear, you're living into those 3 words. You're now experiencing the essence of something, but it's showing up, not in the form that you experienced. What do you do with that? Are you willing to receive it? Are you willing to surrender to it? A great book I just finished reading about 2 weeks ago is The Surrender Experiment by Michael A. Singer. And what a book to really, he made it his life's work to really be in surrender. And, I wish I had read that book years and years ago, but it's here now. And I think it really, he does a great job of outlining for you what that can feel like and what the rewards of that can be when you actually are willing to receive.
Yeah. And again, as we know, right? I mean, of course, the moment, even asking questions is actually an important step to receive, because when we ask questions, we are looking for answers. And we open up, we admit that I don't know, or I want to know more. And then we receive impulses or something else, right? And the same with asking for help. This is also why it's so important for all of you that are here with us right now and watching this interview. You're part of our HeartPowered Global Nation. There is so much wisdom and experience and care and love, and again, whenever we ask for help or we ask for inspiration or we're asking simply asking questions, there's someone that might just give us this clue or this suggestion or offering help that gets us and even our business to an entirely new level. So, Triccia, I know that you are a go-getter girl, right? I mean, you are really taking massive action. You're bold, right? And you take action in joyful ways. So, as you know, when we take, when we take action, when we take repeated action, that's what gets us results. So, what is one thing you do? What is one habit that really helps you to be joyful and bold and healthy? And you stay that way. What is one action that really helps you personally and your business to keep striving and to keep growing?
It's really simple. This one thing I offer up to everybody is to have a journal next to your bed at the night stand. Have a journal, have a pen, and before you actually turn in for the night, write down at least one blessing, one gift, one event that occurred, whether it was something you intended for, the outcome of something that you intended for, or it was a delightful surprise that you weren't expecting, but it showed up in the form of people, a person, situation, circumstances. Write down at least one thing each day that happened that day. And I call it my evidence gathering. It allows me to be able to really see over time all the different ways that I'm being divinely supported. And that when something happens as expected, great. When something happens that I wasn't expecting, wow. It's those moments where we say to ourselves, that was not a coincidence, it's synchronicity or a magic miracle. It doesn't matter. Every day you write down that thing that has you feeling held. And that's what it does for me, Monique. It has me feeling held, cradled, supported, that I can continue to be bold no matter what, and I'm held.
Well, Triccia, I think this is amazing, the habit you're sharing. Why don't we turn that habit into what we normally do with everyone on our interviews every week, is we give them a concrete action or a concrete little challenge to really turn their learning and inspiration into concrete action so they get results right away. So why don't we take this habit of creating that beautiful journal and really appreciating everything that happens every day? Why don't we make that their suggestion for this week, the action to take this week? What do you think about that?
I think that's great. That's wonderful.
Great. Okay, so why don't we encourage them with finding out, like, what were some of the things that you put into your journal to really get them to see that magic is created with that, when we do this kind of journaling on a regular basis.
Yes. And, sometimes, before I answer the question, sometimes it's not obvious that something is a blessing. And, for instance, how you and I got here, it was an introduction through a common friend of ours. She thought it would be a great idea to connect us. And I actually had written that down as one of the things when we spoke last week. As far as the blessing is concerned. And the truth is, I don't really know where that was going to go. I know that it was only just a few days ago, and now here we are. And I look forward to seeing how the rest of it unfolds, because we're never done, right? Life continues to unfold. And so sometimes it might seem like you're reaching for something, there was nothing in particular that had you on like a level 10 excitement. However, be present to every moment. Who's new that came into your life today? Write that down, because you just never know where and how it's going to unfold.
Exactly. And, I don't know if you know these beautiful metal wristbands, like I have them gold and silver and platinum with little messages on there. And one of them that I love to wear is saying, expect miracles.
Mm-hmm.
And again, once you appreciate like meeting someone new, like we get connected, Triccia, and we learn from each other, again, that can become a miracle, and it can bring everything to a different level. I think also we should give our beautiful friend Sheila Pearl, who actually connected us, a little shout out here. Thank you, Sheila, for making the introduction, and everyone that is, wanting to fall in love and stay in love. She's a love doctor. Connect with her too. But anyhow, Triccia, I know that, you and I could keep inspiring our audience for quite a bit longer. And I know that a lot of people want to learn more about the amazing work you do. Where can they find you? How can they connect with you?
Well, I am on the major social media platforms. My handle or my username is Triccia Ramos, one word. I spell my name with 2 C's, Triccia, Triccia Ramos. And you can check out my website, livemasterminds.com, where we talk a little bit more about the coaching programs that we offer. And I would say, yeah, YouTube as well. I forgot to mention YouTube. So you can easily reach out to me there on those platforms.
Beautiful. And don't miss connecting with Triccia. There's a lot of inspiration. And again, it's so important to not always focus on growing our business and making profit. It's really important to also really live a very balanced life. Okay, so thank you, Triccia, for being with us today. I loved, us playing together, and all of you, thank you for being on with us, loyal, on every one of our interviews. We love to have you. Okay, so play with us this week, start journaling. Okay, and, really appreciate what is happening in your life and share with us some of the things that have happened once you start taking action. And as always, we are here to cheer you on and to support you as you really want to reach a much bigger audience with your speaking and with your business. So all of you have a fabulous day. Triccia, thank you for being on with us. All the best going forward, and we'll be in touch. And all of you have a fabulous day, and we'll be back with another heart-powered, inspiring interview very soon. All the best until then, and as we always say, speak up, scale up, impact the world in your own powerful way. And we'll see each other in the Heart Power Global Nation in between. So all the best for now. Cheers.
Thank you.